Hey Harry Potter fans, Peter Kenneth here. Welcome back to the Potter Collector channel, where we are a community of collectors. It is spring break at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. If you are planning a trip to come during spring break, here are 7 things to expect during your trip. The first thing that you should expect is pretty obvious: crowds. There will be a lot of people here at Universal Studios, which is home to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, in addition to crowds, you can expect Universal Studios to hit capacity and close the gates to new entries for the 3 very busy spring break weeks. Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure have both hit capacity before noon almost every day, which is why you see behind me the turnstiles, or the entry gates, are pretty empty. Universal is currently in a modified capacity, so they're not allowing 100% of the people that they can have in their theme parks due to COVID. In your planning of your Universal Studios day, make sure that you get here early to guarantee entry to the theme parks. Now, normally when they do hit capacity, later in the day they do open up again, but that can potentially be hours waiting just to enter one of the theme parks. As long as you've entered one of the Universal Studios theme parks, so Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure, they will allow you entry to the other, even if the other theme park or both theme parks are at capacity. The way that you can access the other theme park, as long as you have a park-to-park ticket, is via the Hogwarts Express or through the walkway from Universal Studios to Islands of Adventure, or Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios. And then the third option is to walk through City Walk from one park to the other. To access the Universal Studios to the Islands of Adventure pathway, if you are in Universal Studios, that pathway is located between the Universal Studios store and Minions Mayhem towards the front of Universal Studios. If you are looking to take the pathway from Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios, that is located next to One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish in Seuss Landing. And one more reminder, you need a park-to-park ticket in order to go to both theme parks in one day. With the crowds comes some frustration at points, but just remember, you are in the Wizarding World. Enjoy it. The next thing to expect are high prices. And that means hotels, car rentals, airfare, and theme park tickets. You can expect to pay $30 to $40 more for a park-to-park ticket or a single park one-day ticket here at Universal Studios. Now, a park-to-park ticket allows you to enter both of the theme parks, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, in one day. And that also allows you to ride the Hogwarts Express. If you're planning to fly down to Orlando, airfare is going to be significantly more expensive. For example, on the off-season, I can find Southwest flights for $45 to $50 one way from Chicago to Orlando. But during spring break, they're in the $150 to $300 plus range for one way. Hotels are also going to be expensive, as well as book up quickly. So if you're planning to visit during spring break, it's definitely a good idea to plan early. If you're someone who likes to rent a house or a condo for your stay, either through Airbnb or Vrbo, those also book very quickly. So if you're planning a trip and really want to stay in a house or a condo, it's time to start planning your spring break vacation. And that leads into rental cars. Right now, this week, Orlando is sold out of rental cars. You cannot find any rental cars available at the Orlando airport. Uber prices are also going to be more expensive because there's a higher demand for Uber drivers. So if you plan to Uber from the airport to your hotel and plan to Uber from places like the hotel to Universal Studios, expect to pay a little bit more for that Uber ride than you're used to. When it comes to theme park ticket prices, it is always less expensive to stay longer. So you will pay less per ticket per day the longer that you stay. One thing I always recommend is to look into annual passes. Sometimes you'll find that if you're staying for 3 or 4 days, it's less expensive to buy an annual pass than it is to buy the 3 or 4 day ticket. And in some cases, it's just a little bit more to purchase an annual pass, which allows you to come back and not have to purchase additional tickets before your annual pass expires. Next up is crowded souvenir and merchandise stores. You can expect a long wait for some of the more popular merchandise stores. For example, right behind me, this is the line for Ollivanders. It stretches all the way down Diagon Alley and into some switchback queues. Expect to wait a little longer for some of the more popular stores. Now, if you're looking for some specific Wizarding World of Harry Potter merchandise, a good option is to visit the Universal Studios store at the front of the Universal Studios theme park, where you enter and exit, or the trading company at the front of the Islands of Adventure theme park. Those stores sell most of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter merchandise that you can find in the various stores within the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, either Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade. So if you don't want to wait in line, definitely check out the front of the park for that specific item, because they will most likely sell it. If you see a really long line, Universal Studios has merchandise carts which usually have shorter lines. So for example, when it comes to pins or wands, you may want to try to utilize those carts if you see long lines in the actual merchandise stores. Next up, expect long wait times for rides. You'll see a significant increase in the amount of minutes that you'll be waiting if you come for spring break. Universal Studios has a fantastic app, so definitely download that before your trip. It will show you ride wait times as well as different show times, which will help prepare you as you plan your Universal Studios trip. Now, when it comes to ride wait times, the Hogwarts Express is considered two things: a ride and a way to get from one park to the other. Now, if the Hogwarts Express has a really long wait time, definitely utilize that path that is between Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, or Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios. The next thing to expect when you come to Universal Studios for spring break is just that, a break. It's a wonderful time to get away so that you can get back into that school year or your job. Whether you're spending time with family, friends, or just yourself, coming to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is a great way to recharge. Another thing to expect are long wait times for food. When it comes to the two main restaurants at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Leaky Cauldron, which is in Diagon Alley, and the Three Broomsticks in Hogsmeade, Universal Studios has implemented mobile food ordering. That allows you to open up the Universal Studios app, order your food, and pay for your food while you are in line to get into the restaurant. Once you get to your table, you press a button saying that you're seated, and your food is delivered. Keep in mind that the busiest times are during lunch and dinner. So if you're able to wait, eat a snack for lunch, and then come around 3 p.m. or after dinner hours, the lines will be a lot shorter. The next thing to expect is beautiful weather. Florida is a fantastic place in March and April. It's sunny, and you can expect the temperatures to be in the high 60s to sometimes the low 90s. So if you happen to be from a cooler climate, this is going to be a fantastic spring break for you. I hope that this video was helpful if you are planning a trip to Wizarding World of Harry Potter here at Universal Studios during spring break. If you have any questions about Harry Potter or Harry Potter collecting, feel free to leave a comment down below. You can also join the Potter Collector community on Instagram at The Potter Collector, or on Twitter at Potter Collector. Now it's time to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, keep collecting. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. You can subscribe right up here. You can also look at some previously posted content down here. If you have any questions about Harry Potter books or collecting, please feel free to contact me. I'm always happy to help. But for now, I must go. See you next time.
Whoa, where'd he go?